What up, ladies? Leon Trotsky here, bringing some more Minecraft. Talking about some crazy theories. Doing it live, you know how we do. And just catching up a little bit here. I did go down to the mine. I forget where we left off in the last episode. I will admit here, let's get to it. I did have a little bit of a technology problem in the last episode. Like I did actually almost like a whole episode, and then I realized that my video fucking didn't record. And so I did talk about the whole moon landing and all that stuff, and why I think the moon landing actually happened, and why it's not fake, and fancy shit like that, but you didn't get to hear it, so, well, shit happens. But whatever, guys. I'll go through it again real quick for you. If you guys didn't know where I left off, talking about the moon landing. I just kind of threw it in there in the end of the last episode there. And I also want to throw out, I did miss an episode upload date. I want to apologize for that. I think I need to do at least one day off, so like 6 days a week uploads. Probably not uploading on Saturday, because I do usually work on that day, so it makes it a little tough for me. But let's get into the theories, guys. Whether or not you think that... Oh, fuck. Whether or not you think we landed on the moon. And this is one of those things that, like, I have a hard time. It's like, to me, that's almost like saying that the Holocaust didn't happen. It's like, are you really trying to tell me that? Because I have a really hard time believing you on that stuff. Because it's just things that in all faces of facts, you're still going to be like, nah, I don't know about that. But, you know, to each his own. And there's reasons to obviously question the moon landing and stuff like that. A lot of it is like, it's pretty far out. I mean, you have to put it in historical perspective of what was going on at the time, and the Cold War and the space race, and the realization that in all reality, we did not get the first man. I think we did not have the first man into space, but I think we did. We obviously got the first man on the moon. I know the Russians actually put up a, what was it? I forgot to get the seeds. I want to go fix my farm up. Look at the enchantment table. You got to tell me what to enchant. But the Russians actually put up the first space satellite, Sputnik 1, I think it was called. History majors, look up Wikipedia years. But yeah, so, you know, we were on the space race. We wanted to prove to the Russians that we were more technologically advanced. And it turns out, obviously, that we were more technologically advanced if you looked at everything, historically speaking. But we did want to be able to prove to the world and to the Russians, and mostly to the American public, and to really increase the popularity of science and, you know, NASA and stuff like that, that we could put a man on the moon. And it was one of those things that we did for, I think it was more for American spirit. And I think that's one of the reasons that some people question whether or not it actually happened. When things are done for different reasons and you may not hear the actual story, it makes you question. And I think questioning, and, you know, a logical questioning of authority is sometimes good. Obviously, you shouldn't just be like, oh, question at the fuck authority. What's that? I don't know. Regardless. But I did want to get into something else completely today, guys. I watched a movie recently, and you guys know how I am with movies. I love me some movies. I love good movies. I love all movies. Well, I like good movies, and I've told you this. I would plan on writing a movie, but I watched a movie recently. If you guys don't know, I live in LA, which allows me to sometimes have cool stuff that you get from Hollywood. A friend of mine's parents' father works for the movies. He's a director. He's in the Directors Screen Guild and all that cool stuff. And he actually gets the ability to go and they send him the screening movies. All right, guys. Sorry about the little bit of an interruption. We'll continue where I was going on the movie topic. Argo. I get a movie. Sometimes you live in cool places. You get to meet people. They get hookups. I know somebody that has the ability. They get the director's copy, the review copies of certain movies sometimes. And the certain movie, they got a lot of them this year, actually. And so I checked out some movies that I wanted to watch. And one of them that I watched recently that I was a big fan of. And I've seen a lot of the popular movies that are out right now. But I really wanted to see this movie, Argo. If you guys don't know about Argo, I'll get into it in a second here. And there's a conspiracy kind of that I wanted to talk about with this movie, which is why I'm bringing it up. But Argo is a great film. Probably, honestly, one of the best movies I've seen in a really long time. It was absolutely amazing. It was one of those movies that's a simple premise, simple story, and it just keeps you on the edge of the seat the whole time. You actually know what's going to happen. You know what to expect, and it still just has you. It just has you. It was directed by Ben Affleck. And the cool thing is it's based on a real story. it always makes everything better when it's based on true events. It just makes it a little bit more entertaining, so it's always a little bit more fun. And we'll cut into it. I'll let you guys know actually what the story was about. I feel like it's a little dark up here. I don't think they can spawn up here, but I want to add a little light. Anyways, the story, guys, is about the Iran hostage affair in the 1980s. If you guys don't know your history that well and you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, I'll let you know. In the 1980s, Iran was Iran. I think we've had this talk before. Iran is going through a revolution, is the best way to describe it. And they're changing powers. And the U.S. is obviously over there, you know, doing their thing, taking control, trying to get a pro-U.S. Person in power, because that way that we can get the oil and get all the money, and that's really all that matters. However, we have consulates over there, and they were doing stuff that were kind of spying on the regime and the people that were in power. It's just stuff that wasn't super, I guess, kosher would be the best way to say it. I don't know. It's just stuff that wasn't super popular, at least among the people of Iran at the time. And there was a revolution going on, and a lot of people didn't realize this, you know. And what ended up happening, along with a lot of anti-American sentiment, I forget the exact year, but basically, I think it's 1980 actually, there was a big riot, and they broke into the American consulate and held 60 Americans hostage for over 400 days. All right? That's the premise of the story. Now, the movie is actually about a CIA guy, played by Ben Affleck, and he is tasked with sneaking into Iran, which is actually they closed off the country completely to any Americans, any outside sources, and they were like hunting Americans and trying to kill Americans and stuff like that, like crazy shit. But 6 Americans actually were able to escape from the consulate and continued, and they managed to gain safe harbor in the Canadian ambassador's house. And eventually Ben Affleck was tasked as a CIA exfil, I don't know exactly what exfil stands for, exfiltration, whatever. He was tasked with getting them out of the country. And so they come up with this crazy plan of making a fake movie in Iran by Canadian, you know, produced by Canadian, whatever, producers, and then they're gonna, you know, ship them out as a film crew. That's the idea behind the premise. And it actually goes well. It actually ends up happening. They get them out of the country, cool stuff. And this actually happened. That's the craziest part about this story, is that it actually happened. And people, like, when you first tell people that lived through this, like, this was before my time, before 1980, you know, obviously I didn't really know about this when it happened, you know, I hear stories. The cool thing, one thing that I noticed about this story that they actually didn't mention is that the Iran-Contra affair was that the fact that a lot of these hostages were actually released because of money that was provided through selling illegal arms deals to the Contras in South America, and then they used that money to basically like bribe off the Iranian people that were holding them hostage or some crazy shit like that. But regardless, they got them out. But the story's about the 6 hostages that Ben Affleck went over there and saved. Now, the crazy thing, I remember telling my dad about this movie, and he, you know, obviously a little bit older, lived through this hostage affair and remembers it. And they didn't tell you that the CIA managed to get these 6 hostages out. What they told you, what the news media reported, however, was that the Canadians got them out. Go Canada. And in the movie at the end, like, one of the guys that like knew about the thing was like, oh, you know, they were talking to somebody and they're like, man, it's amazing that the Canadians were able to do something like that. Like, why can't us Americans do something really that cool and that, you know, patriotic for our people? And the guy said, you know, go fuck yourself. And that was one of the funny lines in the movie, obviously. But what you don't realize is that why do they just say, hey, it was the Canadians? They can't. There's certain times in American politics that they just cannot say that they did something, and they talk about it through the movie, and they say, you know, well, because they can't say that America went in and like violated the sovereign nation of Iran and stole all these guys out of there and stuff like that. They just can't admit to it. And they even they talk to Ben Affleck, and they're going to give him some award, and he's like, okay, well, I want to, you know, can we do this at a certain time? I want to invite my son. He's like, no. You know, we're going to give you the award. It's completely private celebration, and then we're going to take it right back. Nobody's ever going to know what you did. And the only reason we actually know now is because I believe it was President Clinton in 90 or 92 actually declassified the reports of what actually happened and decided to allow the, you know, American public to know about the events. And so compare this to something along the lines of Zero Dark 30, which is another movie celebrating, I'm going to take a nap real quick, celebrating, you know, America, hoorah, hoorah, killing Osama bin Laden. And I have a feeling that there's a correlation as to why both of these were released or declassified. And I think it has to do with the amount of information that was already accessible to the general public, and it was eventually going to come out to everybody else. And so rather than letting it come out in public and, you know, being, oh God, look what America did and snuck in and did this, or, you know, violated Pakistani airspace and flew in and killed Osama bin Laden, it's like, no, this is what actually happened. This is the story. This is why we did it. So we're the good guys. It's rewriting history. It's a huge conspiracy. It's really trying to get people to, you know, really look at things the way you look at them. And that's kind of weird to me a little bit. That's kind of the leading edge of a conspiracy, when you don't quite hear about certain things and all of a sudden you do hear about them, and it really makes you think about things sometimes. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think the government should tell us everything? I think that's what it comes down to. Do we want transparency in our government? Obviously, the government decides, you know, well, you know, we should have control, and they tell us certain things and not certain things. But there should be more transparency. There should be an easier understanding. And they do have, you know, the Freedom of Information Act and stuff like that. But they still got black markers that will mark out anything that is detrimental to national security. And they have this national security thing that they just claim all the time. National security, national security. Oh, it's for national security. They can get away with anything based on national security. They can arrest and kill American civilians overseas, and they can, you know, put you in Guantanamo over here based on national security. And that's crazy to me. Like, I'm all for national security, and I'm for, you know, everybody being safe and happy and fun and loving and all that fancy schmancy shit. But, I mean, in all reality, like, there's got to be a line. There's got to be a line of, hey, this is for the benefit of mankind, or this is for freaking national security. It's that overarching just ability to say we can do whatever the fuck we want. That's what scares me. That's what should scare you. And, you know, it was a good thing what the government did to be able to get our American people out of that country. Because there were some scenes in that movie that I was thinking, man, if I was one of these people, I would be scared shitless. When you're, you know, in the very beginning, when they eventually storm the consulate, and you literally, like, if I was in a position like that in a third world country, and obviously they're on American territory in a consulate, but there's a lot of angry people basically breaking down your door wanting to kill you. That would be a weird circumstance to be put in, but they did it, and it was, man, that movie just had me going. It was a great film. I think it will honestly win Best Film of the Year. Best Film, it would probably be Best Director. I think Ben Affleck could win Best Actor for it, as well as Best Director. But we'll see. I think Best Support. I don't think Best Supporting Actor will go to that movie. Probably something like the German guy from Django or something like that. But, you know, that's just how it goes. But I really enjoyed that movie. So let me know, you know, what you think about that stuff in the comments down below. Should the government really be transparent and tell us everything and tell us that they killed JFK? Or should they have some secrets? Should they be allowed to keep things secret for national security? Should they be allowed to, you know, do certain things, certain CIA black ops that they don't tell anybody about? I just causes me concern. You know, and then the new things, there's so many topics I want to get into, guys. I know you guys, you leave some comments, and FEMA Camps Lowell, I saw it. I do want to get into it. It is something that I have done some research on, and have seen some crazy footage of. It really makes me curious. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, guys. So I hope you guys have been enjoying these episodes. Of course, you know, leave me stuff in the comments below if there's anything that you're thinking about, anything that you're thinking I'm completely off base on. Go check out this Argo movie. It's probably still in theaters. It might be coming out on DVD somewhat soon. Not really sure, because you know, I got the hookups. That's how it goes living in California over in Hollywood. It's always nice. But honestly, it's a weird, you know, middle ground, because at one point that I'm very happy and proud that I'm American and that we are able to, you know, stand up for our people and save our stuff. It's also concerning at the amount of cover-up that our government does. So, you guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think about all that stuff. A lot more Minecraft, a lot more theories coming soon. Probably need to make it back home before that creeper kills me. But, you know how we do. Oh, there's some sugarcane. There's all sorts of good shit out here. A lot more Minecraft coming soon, guys. I'm going to do this, get some more seeds, be able to finish my farm so we can have unlimited amounts of food forever. I love having farms. I'm like a big farmer. Remember, like on normal mode, like they keep the stats and everything. I'm like top of the... I'm not top. I'm top of my friends list on farming, but like top 1,000 or something, just because I farm like crazy. I'm a big farmer. My treehouse. Oh, so pretty. So yeah, guys, a lot more stuff coming soon. Argo was a great movie. Definitely got to go check it out. Definitely worth seeing or buying or purchasing or whatever you need to do to be able to see that movie, because it is very intriguing, very suspenseful, very just good story. And just really makes you think about things that our government has done that you really have no idea about. And I think that's what you really got to realize, is that some of the biggest conspiracies, some of the real conspiracy theories that are actually real and actually occur, and you don't know about, and you have no inclination of the stuff that they do, and you think that it's the Canadians. You think it's the Canadians out there saving the world, but it's not. It's a CIA. I don't know. It's just crazy to think that the government can just, you know, say, it was the Canadians. They saved us. We weren't over there. We don't know what you're talking about. It was them. But it was us, and we're awesome. Go America, but only to a limit, because there needs to be a limit to our unyielding power that we seem to have in secrecy in America. Oh, God. So we'll talk about that as we go along. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and finish off my farm. FEMA camps. Do I want to get into FEMA camps? There's a few things that I did want to... Oh, I know what I want to talk about. This is going to be a news event that I want to talk about in the next episode. The manhunt in LA for the cop killer. Have you guys heard about this? Go do some research, maybe. Check it out. There's some crazy stuff kind of going on over here in the Los Angeles area. And there's some people that are being looked for. Or actually one person in general, and for some crazy reasons, and it really makes you question some weird things about the way the government works and stuff. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I'm going to get my farm all set up, and I will catch you soon with some more Minecraft, guys. You know how we do.